Continue our conversation about financial compensation for work-at-home spouses. We started that conversation 2 weeks ago. We couldn't continue last week, but today we're going to continue. On Balogun and Broad, we're going to talk about fake drugs. It's a big problem in the pharmaceutical business. So let's find out why it's so rampant, what pharmacies and customers can do to protect themselves. And of course, news headlines will come your way, sports updates as well, every hour on the hour. After the news at 6, we'll talk to our friends from CM Trading. They'll talk to you about trading Forex. And then I'll hand you over to Voice of America for Let's Talk. But right now, it's time for the big three. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three.
On Hard Facts. On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Rivers and Lagos write about VAT. Rivers and Lagos write about VAT. Is INEC independent or not? Is the DSS handling the Igboho cases properly? Those are your big three. Lagos, let's talk. More developments in the VAT battle. That's our first story. Lagos State's VAT bill has passed second reading, and Governor Sanwo-Olu is ready to sign it into law after the final vote. The bill would set the VAT rate at 6%, a reduction from the current 7.5% under the federal law. But there's no exemption for small businesses, so everybody will have to pay VAT, unlike with the federal government VAT law. Also, the bill would allocate 25% of its receipts to local governments, with the state government keeping 75%. Rivers State government has, of course, passed and signed its own VAT law. And now Governor Wike has met with business leaders in the state and instructed them to stop paying VAT to the FIRS from next month. He said that when the FIRS filed for a stay of execution on the judgment, he instructed the Rivers Inland Revenue Service to pause. But now that the court has thrown out the FIRS application, he has instructed RIRS to go ahead. Wike also took a swipe at Katsina State, who have appealed the ruling. He said, quote, naturally, some states with presently low economic activities and ethically restrictive social policies with economic implications may be adversely affected for now. But this is not our own making. Like the right to derivation, this is also a constitutional prescription which we all swore as political leaders to respect and defend as the supreme law of the land. If you're watching us on Facebook, I'm about to play a video for you. If you can't watch, here's what Wike is basically saying.
When you defend them, when you defend them, when you sweet to us, when you sweet to us, the river station. The river station. As in the sweet to us, you know, as in the sweet to us, 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 as in the sweet to us.
And once again, Wike referred to what he sees as the injustice of the federal government's VAT arrangement. According to him, in June 2021, Rivers generated 15 billion naira in VAT and got back 4.7 billion naira, less than 33%. In the same June, Kano generated 2.8 billion naira in June and got back the same 2.8 billion naira. 100%. But Wike didn't stop there. He also had very strong words for the FIRS. Quote, let me warn that the Rivers State government is fully in charge of the state and will not tolerate any further attempt by the FIRS to sabotage or undermine our authority to freely administer our tax and other related laws in our own state. Those who play with fire risk having their fingers burnt. Enough of the shenanigans. End quote. And he continued, quote, all this bullying by FIRS, they should mind the state they are bullying. FIRS should be very careful. You don't bully state like us. I have the political will to do a lot of things. I am not one of those governors that will shy away. If they continue to bully us, all their offices in the state, I will take, end quote. Meanwhile, next door to Rivers, Akwa Ibom State's House of Assembly is also introducing its own VAT bill. Seems like Rivers State has triggered a domino effect. It will be very interesting to see which states join Rivers and Lagos and Adamawa and Akwa Ibom in championing individual VAT collection, and which ones join Katsina, Gombe and Plateau in calling for joint collection and sharing. But in the meantime, which side do you support, Lagos? Women, call us on 01465 7190. That number is back now. Yay. 01465 7190 for women. For men, 0700 993 993 993. 0700 993 993 993. You can share your thoughts with us as well via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. 080 959 75805. And we're streaming, of course, live on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook Nigeria Info FM, YouTube Nigeria Info FM. Gabriel Nikoyi is on the line. Hello, Gabriel.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me first go back to the Eastern security. I was listening to yesterday from Ogun State. I was not able to call in.
Oh, no, we have to stay on today's topic.
Okay, we'll go on to this topic.
Yes,
okay.
Go ahead.
It's usual now we will support the River State governor. That is the way it's supposed to be. Let every state go out and look how to make money for the state. If in Lagos, I learned that Lagos have over 500, close to 500 billion. But they contribute about 50%. When Lagos they get just a little money. Imagine Lagos they get close to 500 billion in 1 year. Add to Lagos State money. We're talking of having a very good road, having good water, supplying all over the local government. I think I'm supporting Lagos, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom State.
Okay.
Their data and those states should also wake up. We're not voting there to be sleepy governor.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Gabriel. Thank you very much for calling. 0700-993-993-993. 0700-993-993-993. There's also 01465-7190. Benjamin is on the line. Benjamin is in Ikeja today. Hi, Benjamin.
Yeah, good evening. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sandra, you see, let us not distract ourselves. I told you each time I call you on your program, it's always interesting, but the side of the program is what the nature of problems in this country. This government has been a distractor from the beginning, and I kept calling them a distractor, and they'll never change. Because why? You see, you can't hide all the wicked practice of the government.
You can't hide what?
Yeah, as a government of the country, all the wickedness, the practice as a politician, they can't hide.
Okay.
And the truth is this: if as a country, if you are not producing and you are expecting every state to be independent in VAT rate, that would be unprecedented, and it will mar the nature of the government and the governance. Why am I saying this? The citizens will daily suffer for it. Because why? The citizens are not working. The citizens has no industry to work upon, and you are taxing the poor masses. That every state should go and fight for it's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. It's either the government should provide what the citizen needs, build a factory, build an industry, build a company, employ our citizens. You cannot tax them. But a country like this, there is nothing to write home about. You are taxing, each and every state is taxing its citizens for whatever you are buying, and you have increased tax rate. And you are not telling us the tax rate will now be 6%.
All right,
to
so
me.
so Benjamin, already the tax that we're paying is already the VAT that we're paying is currently 7.5%. For the
Yes.
Lagos one, they're saying that
6%.
it's going to be 6%.
Yes.
What the governors who are trying to get VAT to be paid to them are doing is that they're not going to have the federal government collect these taxes anymore. That these taxes will go to the states. So you're already paying the taxes. The governors are trying to make sure that the taxes you're paying are coming to them instead of to the federal government. You're saying that you don't support this.
Very good, Sandra. That's a very good question. Like I said earlier on, you don't put us in difficult situations. It's complicated. If you look at it, because why? A man who has a job has responsibilities. But a man who has no job, what is his responsibilities? So now you are not taxing. If you look at the level of Nigerians,
Is it
now,
the fault?
outside
Is it the fault of the man who has a job that the man who doesn't have a job doesn't have a job?
It is the fault of the government itself. The man that's supposed to provide job for the citizens, it is his fault. And that is why we remain where we remain today.
Okay, but until they provide those jobs, they are already taking taxes. These taxes they are taking are currently going to the federal government. These states, some of them are saying, no, we don't want that anymore. We want these taxes to come to us. And then we have some states that are saying, no, we don't want these taxes to go to the individual states. Let us all be contributing inside one big pot, and then we'll share it amongst ourselves as federal allocation. That's the conversation we're having here. We're not in disagreement over whether or not there needs to be more jobs. And let me also remind you, Benjamin, that it's not the government's job to create jobs. It's the government's job to create an enabling environment for people like you and I to create jobs, right? So we're not debating whether or not the government should be making it possible for you and I to create jobs. We're not arguing all of that. What we're arguing at the moment is whether the taxes should go to one big pot and everybody will share, or should it go to the state that generated the taxes to begin with?
Okay, Sandra, let me ask you this question. The tax
Say that again?
the tax that the federal government.
Oh, Benjamin, your line has gotten very bad. If you can, please call us back so you can ask me that question. I don't know if Maureen is still on the line. Maureen, are you there?
I'm still on the line. I've spent 4 minutes. Sandra, you're going to pay me back my credit.
I will pay you back. I'll pay you back. Sorry.
I just wanted to talk about this. You said earlier that Kano made 2.5 billion, is it revenue in tax, and then River State 15 billion.
That's right.
So why would there be so much injustice? Because River State was refunded 4.something billion.
4.7.
Now River State, fine. So why would I want to share my hard-earned money with and River State? Why would I share my hard-earned profit with a lazy state? Tell me. Why would I do that? Kano should go out there and work hard. They don't want hotels. They don't want people that sell beer. They don't want and Wike has an has enabling environment for all kinds of businesses. So there's so much. I don't understand this government, So I'm in support of Wike 100%. That's just my stake on this.
Maureen, thank you so much for calling. And yes, I will refund your airtime. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will do it. Thank you for calling us. On Facebook, Jonathan Atuvier says, Sharia law doesn't allow alcoholic drinks. It will be wrong for them to ask for VAT from the states of alcoholic drinks, who allow alcohol in their markets. Okay. Osai Ejike is asking, if they start this VAT, how can small businesses survive? But you see, that's the thing. All over the world, small businesses pay tax. So perhaps if they start taxing small businesses can then wake up and start demanding value for their money. If you know that your small business is paying this huge amount as VAT, you're probably going to want them to make sure that things for your business are made available, like light and road and water. It happened sometime in the Americas, I think. I think either in the UK or in the US. I don't remember where exactly now, where the amount of taxes that the people were paying made them sit up and start demanding better returns as far as governance was concerned. So perhaps that's a revolution that Nigeria needs. I don't know. I'm not in support one way or the other. I'm just giving you all the multiple scenarios. We've got more comments on WhatsApp, on Facebook. Sandra, for the first time in history, Rivers State Governor has begun a good and positive fight that will benefit every state and the entire 774 local government areas in Nigeria. Look, this fight Wike began. I want to appeal to all 36 states to join him, as Lagos has done. There's light at the end of the tunnel. This is exactly decentralization, devolving, and restructuring that some quarters have been yearning for. All right. Thank you very much, Abdul Rafiu Alaba Alakpe, with that message there. We'll take a break. We'll come back and I'll tell you about INEC and elections and the National Assembly. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
Fast, abeg. Nobody did my shop. Why this person is still on me now? Wahala no dey finish.
Omnibiz go deliver your goods to your shop fast. Just go their website shop.omnibiz.com or download the app. Use code WELCOME500 to get discount on your first order. Omnibiz, online market for your store.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
INEC says it doesn't need approval for electronic transmission because it is independent. A leading senator says INEC isn't as independent as it thinks. That's our second story. Yes, electronic transmission of election results is back in the news. We heard from Professor Okechukwu Ibanu, and he's INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman of its Electoral Operations and Logistics Committee. And he said that INEC is independent on electoral matters and therefore does not need to consult with the NCC or anybody else before implementing electronic transmission of results or any other election technology. Ibanu said, quote, "That is absolutely unconstitutional. You cannot ask INEC to seek the approval of another agency of government to transmit results electronically when actually INEC has power to impose duties on NCC to achieve electronic transmission of results. I completely agree that in the context of underscoring the independence of the Commission, Section 160 of the Constitution has done everything it needs to do. What is left is for INEC to use the power it has under the Constitution to achieve its aim." End quote. But some voices in the National Assembly disagree. We heard from the Chairman Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, and he said, quote, "INEC, in implementing the law, becomes independent pursuant to the constitutional provision. He," that's INEC chairman, "should not muddle the independence of INEC and that of its agency's operations. As to the legislative competence of the National Assembly to stipulate framework for elections. The INEC chairman does not seem to know the position of the law as to the constitutional power of INEC vis-a-vis the National Assembly from what he said. I will advise him to seek proper legal advice." End quote. So Bashiru is saying that INEC itself is independent as an agency, but INEC isn't independent in its actions. I want to know if you agree with this assessment. Lagos, does INEC have the constitutional right to decide the mode of operation during elections? What do you think of Senator Bashiru's statement? Do you think that INEC itself is an independent agency, but INEC isn't independent in its actions? 0700-993-993-993 01465-7190. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We've started the show as usual with 3 of the bigger stories of the day. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Hey, all right. Thank you for calling.
Sandra,
Turn that radio off, please.
Okay, I've done that.
All right, go ahead.
Finally, I'm off isolation. I called last
week. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, Sandra, for the first discussion of the day, all right? I think it is just needful. It's common sense to allow the states be responsible for what they generate and not being taken to any combined force, all in the name of making some people like a Dashika and then not using their head or thinking out of the box to actually do the needful for their populace. So I think there's no need to actually take robbing Peter to pay Paul. Let each an individual be responsible to their father and mother's land, as in terms of statewide.
Okay.
That's my own take on that. And regarding INEC, you see, from all indications, a lot of people have said it at the instance of the present Senate president, that this present National Assembly is going to be a rubber stamp one, and it's all out there for all of us to see. And I'm not surprised. Senator Bashir, or what was his name, I'm surprised to actually, I've listened to the man a number of times because I don't joke with every fact that has to do with political roundouts or almost on a daily basis aside Nigeria Info, talk about politics today of channel, talk about Arise. Things that are germane, that actually, because I'm a very young, vibrant individual, entrepreneur, trying to do the best for my country, for my community, wherever I can. And I need to know what's going on. I need to know what affects me by the day. So there is no way we can actually separate this particular National Assembly from all of their plans to actually make sure they are back to power again in 2023. And it's not going to work. They have no such right. INEC is independent and they should allow that body or that agency to do her work as that will ensure in the Nigerian constitution. Thank you.
All right.
God bless Nigeria.
Bless Nigeria. Emmanuel, thank you very much for calling us. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Are you there? What's your name?
Good afternoon, Sandra. My name is Paul from Ibeda.
Welcome, Paul.
Yeah, Sandra, you are giving, will I say, Borga this afternoon. Hot 3 issues. Number one, in fact, I'm too excited today, honestly. Wike has done 100% well. In fact, I'm not his fan, but from today, I will begin to support Wike.
Okay.
He has done what we have been crying and yelling for. Let us restructure this country and make the federating unit strong financially so that Nigeria can move forward. Why will they generate 15-point-something billion and get 4.8 billion in return? Then Kano generated about 2.5 and got 100%. Why will you rob Peter to pay Paul? So I support Wike 100%. And I know it's an action and he will defend it legally and otherwise. I listened to the conversation, the meeting he had on television. I watch it live. I'm in support of it. I'm in support of Lagos, Akwa Ibom, and I know other states will follow. Then concerning INEC, just like the last I said, Sandra, if they refuse this electronic transmission, just know it, we are not expecting to see or hear a fair election, free and fair election. It is a way of rigging the 2023 election if they did not approve this. Then the last one is the DSS that said armed robber one chance took their file. If you remember the case of Baba Fayo with today's minister, what's his name? What's this guy's name? He's a minister right now. That was what made Festus Keyamo popular. When he went to the police station to extract fish that the police denied that was missing. The same case now, how can DSS tell the world that they entered one chance? That means they are, oh, come on. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, Paul. We've got Leo Jonathan on Facebook who says, Mwike said, Rivers VAT, not for Abuja people. I don't care if heaven falls. Gombe government says, begs southern states on VAT, says, let's be our brother's keeper. Sakpa, nice one. Sakpa wants to come, and now we remember Brothers Keeper. Brothers Keeper Core, Sisters Defender Ni. This is the real restructuring. Leo Jonathan with that message on Facebook. Leo, thank you very much for messaging us today. Ebby Amber says, wickedness is when VAT is collected in southern Nigeria and then spent in northern Nigeria, while the same VAT is collected in northern Nigeria, also spent in northern Nigeria. Therefore, let the VAT war continue till we put an end to this nonsense. I support Governor Nyesom Wike of River State on this one. Now, it's not just northern Nigeria that benefits from this. So you look at your eastern states. You look at Enugu, you look at Abia State, you look at Plateau as well. Plateau is not northern Nigeria, right? And Plateau is one of the states that is saying at the moment, I beg, Joe, let's go back, let's continue the way things are at the moment. Now, Enugu and Abia have not spoken yet, but Enugu and Abia contributed about 1% to, the IGR. For last year, was it, or 2019? So you have a situation where you have a few states doing the major of the work, and these few states that are doing the major of the work get a fraction of the money that they're contributing as VAT. Do you think that that's the path we should continue on as a country, or do you think that what Wike and Lagos and Adamawa and Akwa Ibom are attempting at the moment is the way to go? 0700-993-993-993. Yes, I just remembered. No taxation without representation. That was a story I was trying to remember when I was speaking to the guy, when I was responding to the guy that said, small businesses will not survive this. It actually happened both in the UK and the US. That's actually what led to America becoming America. Oh yes, that's what made America leave the UK and become its own independent nation. Americans coined the phrase "no taxation without representation" right before the revolution against the British government. And much earlier, in I think it was 1215, the historians who are listening to me will correct me if I'm wrong. In 1215, British lords demanded political rights from the king, who was charging them higher taxes. That's how Magna Carta came about. So yeah, it was both. So perhaps this is I don't know, if small businesses will now be taxed VAT 6%, perhaps small businesses will start to demand better representation. I don't know. What do you think? 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're talking to Sandra. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, Prince Wires want to talk on your show.
Yes, go ahead, Prince Wires.
Thank you, ma'am. I really present.
Turn your radio off and then let's go.
Oh, let me do it. I'm sorry. It's okay now?
It's okay now. Go ahead.
You see, for me, what the River State governor has done and the one being in the oven in Lagos, it's a little bit okay by me. What am I saying is, if it happens this way, it will affect some states in the south there too. It will affect states like my own state in Osun State, Ekiti State. There's no industry in those states that are mentioned now. It will affect states like Igboho State and the other states in the south. Yeah. So this is a law we are talking about. It doesn't only affect the north alone. People are saying, because it affects you are mentioning Kano, only Kano. Without the tax we are talking about, Kano have any other resources. So for me, that is why I'm yearning for parliamentary system of government, not the type of government we are talking about. If it's parliamentary system of government, the one we operated during Papa Obafemi Azikiwe period before 1960, that is regional government. Anything you get from that region, you spend it for the whole people in that region. Like now, if this is started now, people in Lagos will live like a king. People come from Ekiti. You say Obama will live like a slave. Everybody will live like this. Down to Lagos. And the same thing will happen to River as well. The same will happen to some states that have all these resources. When you talk of fat today,
The tax we are paying today, there's a lot of industry in Lagos, in Port Harcourt as well. But because of other states who don't have industry to pay tax. And for me, whether you collect billion for billion, my own is how do you manage the money? That is the big case. If corruption is distracting a lot of things in this country, Sandra. So for me, I'm a little bit accept it, but when you look my own part, the majority of my part still follow parliamentary system of government. The one we are putting today is so expensive, tailor with corruption.
Thank you for calling, Prince YS. Quadri Abdul Kudus Omobolaji says it's unjust for states to share their revenue with states that think differently about items to be sold in this state. I fully support Nwike on this. Ernest Ezekwesili says INEC is not independent at all because I can still see some magic fingers from Asurok pointing towards that commission. We've got Dom Maka Abi who says Nwike is right. If you ban alcohol and break beer bottles, don't expect to get money from alcohol tax. We've got more people sending us messages here. Olumi De Olorum Femi says DSS losing case file. I cannot stop laughing. We all understand what that means. No issue. It's all a game to them, but justice will prevail one day. All right. Let's come to WhatsApp now. Chike Akute says, our lawmakers are playing chicken. I challenge them to give e-transmission a chance and see if they win elections fairly. Chike Akute, thanks for your message. Sandra, good afternoon. Lagos State taking away VAT from federal government is good, but will this make any difference to Lagos and the real development? Local government are collecting millions every month in allocation, yet local government roads are the worst ever. Governor Sanwo-Olu is very active in acting on VAT process because it's about money. He's not active in Lagos State security, road, LASMA problem, Agbero problem are on his head. But now on VAT, he's very keen. It shows that he's just there to make money on Lagosians, but he doesn't exist when it comes to his main responsibility, Olaide Cruise in Victoria Island. That's an interesting point Olaide makes, especially because I'm thinking about that report from SBM Intelligence that we discussed on Balogun and Broad some weeks ago. And that report was talking about small businesses being overtaxed. So perhaps if this VAT becomes one more tax that small businesses have to pay, small businesses will say, okay, enough is enough. No taxation without representation. Maybe. We've got more people who are sending us messages here. This one sends me a message to complain. I don't read their message, only for them to now not send me a message except the complaint. Olayori from Sangota says, the state should be independent in collecting her VAT, but I detest the political angle by Governor Nwike in handling the matter by singing a hatred song. We should not divide the country based on political parties. And also, INEC should go to court before 2023 election for interpretation of its independence and actions. Thank you very much for your message. Baba Odu says, Sandra, what Nwike brought up is well supported. But why is it that anytime issues like this come up, people, especially from the southeast, always like to politicize it by introducing north and south dichotomy? Sandra, this Nwike's stance on tax will affect southern states like Imo, my state, but it will make those governors think about how to make money for their state via the resources they have. Let governors work. Let them think. Okay. Allow e-transmission of election votes. Let the test. The Nigerian youths only vote on BBN but not election theory people. Always bandy about when... hold on. Let me see if I understand the message you're sending. That's Adams. Adams says, allow e-transmission of election votes. Let us test the Nigerian youths only vote on BBN but not elections theory that people always bandy about when BBN season is on. Abby? Okay, Adams. Thank you for your message. Let's take one call, and then we'll go to our final story on the show. Hello. Thank you for calling us.
Hello. Good afternoon, Sister Sandra.
Good afternoon, brother. What's your name, sir?
Yes, Comrade Ikechukwu.
Welcome, Comrade Ikechukwu.
I support Wike with my generation, and Wike is my adopted father after Nnamdi Kanu. Let him continue. Are you hearing me?
Okay.
If the Nigerian lawyers do not agree, if the Nigerian Home Court do not agree, make him take government to ICC. That is a Hague.
Okay.
So he will continue, and other people will follow suit. You cannot break beer in the north and break it and carry beer high, and they will be using Southern money to be paying that place.
But it's not just north that Southern money is to pay. Wow, Southern states also enjoy. People like Enugu, people like Imo, people like Ekiti.
Allow me to explain to you what happened. I traveled to Abuja 3 years ago. From Oyo to Okene, Arable land. Just have a timber. They have tin and gold. Zamfara have gold. Kaduna have uranium. Abuja have River Valley and Zuma Rock. All the whole states can generate their own resources, and let us not deceive ourselves here. You hear me?
Okay.
I can even build Arochuku so that people will come and be watching, so that we can be generating money in other states.
Okay.
Concerning the INEC, INEC is an independent body.
Okay.
For me, no vessel, as a human being, if that National Assembly are existing, I don't know they are existing. Nigerian youth and the CEOs, the CSOs, civil society organization, and the activists are going to help INEC to fight National Assembly. I'm begging NCC to give us communication that day during the election. Are you hearing me? So I'm not telling you that if National Assembly are existing, I don't know. INEC is independent, and if they no agree this time around for that election transmission of results, another final of answers will come. Me myself, I'm a voter. So if there is anywhere there where they vote now, tell me, we can go vote.
Ikechuku, thank you very much for calling. For our final story, the Imo State government has confirmed that it shut down bank branches yesterday as punishment for them shutting down on Monday. That's our final story. Yesterday, I told you about this. We got reports that the Owerri City Development Agency Authority was shutting down some bank branches. And I also told you that the bank staff alleged that it was because the branches were closed on Monday over the IPOB sit-at-home order. Now, the state government has confirmed it. We heard from the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelumba. And he said the banks frustrated customers on Monday by remaining closed. And so to penalize the banks, the government sealed them yesterday. Now, the question is, won't the government's decision frustrate bank customers? Then there's the question about whether or not government should have penalized the banks at all. Some say yes, because the banks were out of line. Others say no, because the government should have taken into account the duress that these banks were under. They point to the burning of that trailer in Enugu and other reports of attacks on businesses that opened on Monday in Nnewi. So the argument is that the banks had to protect themselves by staying closed, since the government may not have been able to protect them. What do you say? Do you think that government should penalize businesses like banks that did not open due to IPOB's sit-at-home order? And if so, what should the penalty have been? Is making them shut down a fair punishment? What about the effects on customers? 01465 7190 0700 993 993 993 01465 7190 is our number for our women, and 0700 993 993 993 is our number for men. Hello, thank you very much for calling us.
Hello, Sandra.
How are you? What's your name?
I'm fine. I'm Franca, calling from Alimosho.
Franca, welcome. Turn your radio off for me, then go ahead.
Yes, I've done that.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm actually not feeling too well, but I'm with my radio beside me, listening to it gently. So I just decided to call in. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, all that I've been hearing since, sometimes you feel so terrible about our country. You know, I wanted to comment on the INEC issue and Wike's case. I think I support Wike.
Okay.
This time around, like other callers had called in to also say.
Okay.
You know, this pooling together of resources that we do in this country sometimes doesn't work for us.
Okay.
I know that sometimes when we want to take certain steps may be difficult. You think others can survive. But truth is, you cannot continue to allow others to be lazy while others work for them to spend or to eat. I'm from Imo State, but I don't think that my governor is doing enough to generate income in my state. Perhaps if this happens, we'll begin to look inward. There is no state in Nigeria that hasn't got one natural resource. I don't think so. We all have, even if it is services that we can offer. I know that every state, we have one thing or the other, that God has blessed us with.
Okay.
So I think that every state should, keep their VAT. Every state should keep their VAT. But what would happen, like Prince Wyatt from Amuwa Odofia Express, he expressed his fears. Perhaps small businesses then too will begin to, seek for better and more representation when that happens to keep the government on their toes. So let me not take more time. Talking about what you just read now, I do not think that the Imo State government should penalize bankers, because the truth is that they are not providing adequate security. If they open, we heard about what happened to some people and the trailer issue that we heard about here. Why were they not able to protect them? Why? I know that customers suffered that Monday, but hey, their money is still safe and they are intact with their life. Supposing they open and these hoodlums or whoever, they come and burn down there, will the government help them? I don't think that punishment is fair enough. Okay. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you so much for calling us, and do get well soon. We've got Emmanuel Priest who says there's no duress there, Sandra. Imo State's action is uncalled for and out of place. Did they provide security for the banks and they failed to open up? Will the banks attend to ghosts on that day? How will even the staff get to their place of work? There's no movement and it affected every sector. Why didn't the government seal all the markets in Imo State to show that they have the power to act? That's callous of them, is you. Emmanuel Priest there. Thank you very much. Where Innocent says Governor Hope is always making his people hopeless. He should simply apologize to the banks or compensate the owners of that burned trailer. Well, the burned trailer happened in Enugu, not in Imo State. Amechi Benjamin Obi says Sandra Wike and Lagos State Governor have started in a good direction. Let's see who else is going to bow down for each other. All right, let's take a look at Emmanuel Victor on WhatsApp, who says, my opinion is that government cannot guarantee banks about their security. INEC should stand their ground, and Governor Wike is right. Emmanuel, thank you very much. Sandra, governors are emperors, and we should be careful about what we are condoning. Wike ordered a building to be destroyed for flouting COVID protocol in 2019. Now Uzodinma is closing banks, which is not a government enterprise. This is uncultured in a free and modern society. What do I know? Chris from Amua also says, what happens to a good or product that is imported in Lagos and vatted in Lagos, then ferried to Rivers State, then it's vatted again? Is that not multiple VAT? Let's take a break, Lagos. We'll be right back.
Fast, abeg. Nobody dey my shop. Why this person dey still for me now? Wahala no dey finish.
Only biz, oh. Online market. Omnibiz go deliver your goods to your shop fast. Just go to their website shop.omnibiz.com or download the app. Use code WELCOME500 to get discount on your first order. Omnibiz, online market for your store.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
It's 5 minutes to the top of the hour. On the other side of 4 o'clock, we're going to talk about work-at-home spouses. Are they getting their financial due? I told you 2 weeks ago about Mama Cross. Mama Cross was married to a rich man. If you're watching Big Brother Nigeria this year, you know Cross. You heard him tell his life story about how he grew up in a wealthy home. His father was wealthy. He owned a successful business. Cross describes his father as a very traditional man, did not want his wife, Cross's mother, to work. She was a full-time work-at-home spouse who handled all the domestic matters. At the same time, because of how traditional Cross's father was, he controlled all the money. So if Mama Cross wanted to buy even razor blade, she had to ask Papa Cross for money, and Papa Cross would give her or he would not give her, as the case may be. Then when Papa Cross died, Cross was still a child, and Cross was made next of kin for all his assets instead of Mama Cross. And because Cross was a child, the lawyers and smart people around the father came in, stole all the money, and Cross and his mother and his siblings were left with nothing. So at 4 o'clock, we'll talk about if work-at-home spouses are getting their financial due. Are they getting their financial due? We'll talk about that on the other side of 4 o'clock. But right now, back to the big three, where Chris from Amuo says Wike is misleading us as a nation. He's not thinking long-term or about the future. And that's the bane of leadership in Africa. There's a whole lot besides collection of taxes for state governments and local governments. Let's see this in 5 years' time. All right, Chris, thank you for your message. Chris from AJ says the governor hope cannot guarantee adequate security, but he's closing banks. Why can't the governor come out on Monday and see what will happen? That is what the people want, and there's nothing the governor can do about it. All right. Well, he's done what he can do as the governor of the state. How independent can such a commission be if its chairman and executives are appointed by a partisan politician? But again, what's the rationale for appending independent into INEC anyway? Why not call it National Electoral Commission and then allow it to demonstrate its independence over time? Chukudi Rakba with that message there on WhatsApp. We've got someone who's Alaba Alakwe says, Sandra, you're sounding biased on this matter. Why would you blame Imo State on the instructions given to the banks in the state? I'm expecting you to appeal to those terror guys calling themselves IPOB, terrorizing and disturbing the peace of Igbo land. Look, where are the traditional leaders and rulers in Igbo land? Their silence is showing that they're backing the attitude of these IPOB guys. Let them speak out like their colleagues in Yoruba land are doing. I'm not sure I understand Alabe's message or why he's accusing me of bias. I hope he would explain that message very well because I don't quite understand it. We've got more messages here on WhatsApp. Sandra, I totally support Wike on this, even though my state, Enugu, will be affected. It will make the governor sit up and look inwards. DSS doesn't have a case against those guys and should be ashamed of themselves. Obioma is in Florida. Obioma, thank you very much for your message. We've got, let's see. We don't have enough time to take another call. We simply do not. So I'm just going to keep taking messages on social media. Here's this one from, I think I've taken that one. We've got lots of other messages, so let's try and see if we can access them. The thing about Facebook is that the more you get new messages, the older one just keep running away. Hi Sandra, on the issue of VAT and Wike, most of the VAT generated from Lagos are from people from the east, north and southwest. What if, Sandra, we all go back to our respective states and generate funds and help our states? Ma from Ijebu with that message. Ma, thank you very much for your message. But that's simply not how it works. All over the world, people from different states migrate to other states and pay their taxes in those states. It doesn't stop the residents of the states where they are originally from or they were born in, etc., from doing their own work and generating their own revenue from the people who are left in the state or the businesses that are left in the state. So that's too simplistic an idea, I think. But thank you, Ma, for sending it in. We'll bring you business news and then we'll bring you glass ceiling. Don't go away.
Africa's #1 station for talk.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's